Okay, so today we are graphing cube roots. Some of you are not showing me 3 points for your square roots, and you're not showing me the t-chart, and you're also not doing the domain and range correctly. So what I'm guessing is you looked in the back of the book or you photo mathed it, because I'm not doing domain and range with the less than, greater than symbols. We're doing interval notation like we've been doing with the quadratic. So today we are going to graph cube roots, and you need 5 points today. So 5 points. So the first thing I'm going to do is look at the parent function, f of x, and we're going to talk about the cube root of just x. So just like when we are graphing our quadratics and now we know how our square roots look, because we can't have negatives underneath that square root, so that's why it has a stop point. A cube root, we can have negatives underneath. So my start point, there's nothing inside added in here to x, so x is 0. There's nothing on the outside, so my y is 0. So my start point is 0, 0. You can also do a t-chart, and that may help some of you. So if I say when x is 0, I plug that in, right? Y is the cube root of 0. Well, the cube root of 0 is 0. And so that's how we get our start point. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take 2 points to the right of that start point and 2 points to the left. I don't want all 4 points to the right. So we're going to do 2 on the right and 2 on the left. Okay. So I'm going to choose numbers that, for the most part, that are cube roots, perfect cubes. Some of them may be a little more difficult because they may be really large, but I think that's probably the easiest way instead of doing some decimals. But so the first one I'm going to use is 1, because the cube root, so y equals the cube root of 1. Well, the cube root of 1 is 1, right? So my first point is 1, 1. And this is my rate of change right here, which is 1. So it's positive. And so that kind of helps me with my first 2 points. Then the next one I'm going to choose is to the left of it. Well, -1, because I know why the cube root of -1 is -1. So I get these 2 points here. And again, it kind of comes from that, your rate of change in the front. And so I know it's going to be positive. Now I need one more point to the right. I'm going to highlight that, right? One more point to the right and one more point to the left. And so perfect cubes, well, the next one is 8. So I'm going to say 8. So the cube root of 8, well, we know is 2. So I go over 8 points. And again, some of your graphs, you don't have to make them that big. You can count by 2s, right? 2, 4, 6, 8 if you want. I'm going to count by 1s just for the parent function for right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm going to go up 2. And then the next one, well, I know y equals the -8 is my next perfect cube root, -8. So y equals -2. And so I go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and down 1, 2. And so my graph now looks like this. And notice I have a positive and a negative because of a cube root, because we can have negatives underneath that radical now. So I'm going to do a few more. We're going to look at domain and range. I'm just going to put domain and range on here right now. I'm going to erase this some. And the reason is because the domain and the range is actually pretty easy. So my domain and my range, well, that's all of my x values. We'll stop the video and think right now. Remember, there's points all along this function, right? All along this graph. So my x values, well, they go from -infinity to +infinity. And then my range values are exactly the same. They actually go from, because there's y values, and believe it or not, they're going up and out, right? They go from -infinity to +infinity as well. All right, so I'm going to do a couple others. Okay, next one I'm going to do is f of x equals the cube root of -2x. Well, my start point is still at 0, 0. Hopefully most of you can see that. And the reason is because there's nothing added or subtracted inside with the x, and there's nothing added or subtracted on the outside. And so this is actually gonna be kind of big, but I'll count by different numbers here. And remember, you can count your y's by ones, your x's by twos if you want, however you want to do that, okay? So my first one is 0, 0. My start point, again, because there's nothing added inside x and there's nothing added on the... Okay, and so now we've got our 0, 0, and there's nothing added or in the x or added with a y. So now let's see, what value can I put for x here to make this a perfect cube? Well, I can make x value a 4. And then my y value is the cube root of -8, which we know is -2. So I'm going to use my x values. They're going to go by 2s, and my y values are going to go by 2s. So I'm going to go over 4 to 4, and I'm going to go down 2. Okay. Then when I say, okay, there's 1 point to the right. Now I need 1 point to the left. So the cube root of -2, well, if I make it a -4, that's going to become a +8, which is a +2. So if I go over 2, 4 on my negative, and I go up 2, so remember I'm going by 2s on my graph here. Okay, so now I have 2, so I need 2 more. Well, it's going to get kind of big here. So if I have y equals, and my next cube root of multiplying -2 by something that is a perfect is 32. Okay, so when it is 32. And again, you can mark this out here. We can say this is 32. And we have y equals the cube root of -32 times... -2 times 32, and we get -64, right? And so when it's 32, y equals the cube root of -64, which is -4. So when it's 32, we go down and we have a -4. And so then when it's -32, then we know then it's going to be +4. And you can do that math also. So I'm going to go out here. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. I don't have enough. So I'm just going to mark this as a 32. And we're going to go up here. And so now my graph looks like this. Don't forget your arrows on the end. And the reason is because it is a negative. It's inside. So remember, that's like your horizontal, right? So it is a negative slope, and so it's going to flip from the parent function. It's going in the opposite direction, just like a negative linear function or odd function. Remember how we talked about that, how they go in the opposite direction. And so then my domain in range is going to be the same, because no matter what, it's going to become -infinity to +infinity, and from -infinity to +infinity. Oh, I almost put an S there. You all know how I struggle with my infinity symbols. Okay. All right, let's do one more. Okay, so the next one that I'm going to do is we're going to have actually a number inside, and we'll change the slope a little too. So let's say I have 1/2, and we have the cube root of x plus 3. So I'm going to have this graph. Get my coordinate plane ready. And then we have x equals, okay, so well, x equals -2, because there's -3, because we're adding this 3 here. There's nothing on the outside, so my y value is still 0. So my start point, xy, is -3, 0. So I'm going to go over -3, and I'm going to plot 0. Again, this is my rate of change. So it is a positive rate of change, and it is going to be closer to the x-axis because it's that vertical shrink, okay? And so now we're still going to look at plugging in some x values, because I would need, remember, we need 2 points now from the start point, right? And 2 points to the left, okay? We want 2 and 2. So I'm going to choose a point to the right, and it's going to make this a perfect cube root under here. Perfect cube root. Well, I know that if I say, okay, y equals 1/2, I'm going to wait on that slope for a minute. The cube root, if I know I add 5, right, that becomes, so when x is 5, this becomes 1/2. That becomes a cube root of 8. And so that becomes 2. Well, 2 times 1/2 is 1, right? So we go over 5. So I'm going to go to 5. And so I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I go up 1. Okay. Then I'm going to choose a point to the left. So we have y equals 1/2. We have the cube root. Now I can't do -5. That's not going to work, right? -5 won't work because -5 plus 3, that's not going to be a perfect, that's going to be -2. Again, you can use any values you want for x, but I like to look for ones that are going to become perfect so I get that exact point, okay? Then we can do -11 though, because we have 1/2. Cube root -11 plus 3 is -8. And so we have 1/2. The cube root of -8, sorry, is -2 times -2. And so we have y equals -2 over 1, which is -1. So when it's -11, we have -1. So we have -3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and -1. Okay, and so now there's also other points that I could have chose between 8. So we can't forget about the fact that the cube root of 1 and -1 is also a perfect, right? So that's what sometimes students forget. So there's another point in between the red start point and these two blue points. And it's when I can make this cube root 1 or -1. So don't forget about those. So we have 1/2. We have the cube root. Well, what can I make x to make this a -1 or a +1? That's what your thought process is. So -2 plus 3. And this becomes a cube root of 1. And the cube root of 1 is 1. So this becomes 1/2. So -2, 1/2, right? So I go -2 and I go up 1/2. And then we have y equals 1/2 cube root. What do I have to make x be to make this a -1? Because we've already done +1, so we can make it -4. So we have 1/2 cube root of -1. So 1/2, the cube root of -1 is -1. And so this becomes -1/2. So -4, -1/2. So we go over -4. And we go down 1/2. And so my graph looks like this. And again, my rate of change told me that if I went over 1 and up 1/2, then I can make that point there. Again, your domain and range is exactly the same. So -infinity to +infinity. And the reason is because when you stop and think about all of your possible x values, right? All your possible x values and all your possible y values, they're all along this function. They're all there. And they're going from -infinity over here to +infinity over here for your domain. And your range is actually moving up, right? This is actually moving up and out this graph here. And so that's where we get our -infinity to +infinity. Remember 5 points for each graph and show your domain and range.